My dad called me today and he asked me, "How was your Sunday?" Now, this is something that I've told my dad many times, but I told it to him again. Like, Papa, I don't have a Sunday. I don't have a Saturday, a Sunday. I don't have a weekend. Like, I pretty much go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day, like 9 to 6, 9 to 6, 9 to 6. For me, it's no, oh, it's a weekend, just like stay up, watch anime on Netflix or something. No. What I'll be talking about in this video is called the calendar effect. You ever come across those people who ask you, it's like, oh, bro, what are your New Year's resolution? I'm going to go to gym, like, just start with me, like, we'll get shredded body at the end of the... These are the kind of guys who live by the calendar. As a man, you must understand that time doesn't work according to January, February, or 9 to 5 or anything. The most simple definition of time that I can give you is that you're born, there's something called life in between, and then you die. Time in this entire, from birth till death, time is linear. Time is not gonna wait for your dog's birthday, or it doesn't wait for the weekend, or it doesn't wait for your kids to grow up and oh, I have to take a paternity leave. Time doesn't fucking stop for anyone. A man who has ambitious goals and who has dreams most probably is working a 9 to 5 job, right, so that he gets the money and he can like fund his business or side hustle, whatever he's doing. What happens to such a man who follows the calendar system, or this the calendar effect? What happens to such a man is that he works from 9 to 5, and then he comes home and like he sits on his couch or something and like pops a beer and watches Netflix. And when somebody asks him like, why aren't you like working on your business or your side hustle, he's like, it's past 5 p.m. I don't work past 5 p.m. It's the weekend. It's my dog's birthday. Oh, today it's the bank's national holiday. Whereas a man who is not a slave to the calendar effect, he doesn't wait for the weekend to come by, he doesn't wait until his job is over. He is hustling every second he can. He uses a concept called front loading, which is basically putting work up front in your life. Like how you purchase a subscription, you pay up front and then you use the service throughout. What he's doing is he's doing a huge block of work for a majority of his life, like probably 10 to 15 years of his life. He's putting in this front loaded work, and then after that he's going to enjoy. What the people of the calendar system think is that you need to have a balance, or you need to take an off on the weekends, and like just chill a bit, just come out and all that bullshit. One sentence that I was reading right now, and bro, it just blew my mind. I'm like, bro, I'm a victim to this. Sometimes you can't get sleep, and like, you just wake up in the middle of the night and like you're like, shit, man, my eyes are all awake and I can't sleep or anything. What man wonders, a man with a small dick, or like a man who doesn't have any drive, what man wonders is he looks at the time and he sees it's 4 a.m. and then he smiles and he rolls over and then goes back to sleep. This is because oh, it's 4 a.m. It's not work time. My work time starts at like 7 a.m. I wake up at 7 a.m. A masculine man with utter ambition and who ruthlessly wants to pursue his goals, he doesn't give a shit about what the time is. He doesn't give a shit if it's 12 in the midnight or in the middle of the day. He doesn't give a shit if it's 4 a.m. If he's up and he's going to fucking work. The calendar effect is something that almost everyone tries to push onto us. And probably they don't even push onto us, but it's something that average people, middle class people like me, I'm also like a middle class guy. All the people around me, they live by this. And as a result, like when you grow with this, you can't help but just take that as your belief. Like, you work from Monday to Friday, you take the weekends off, you go out to drink when it's happy hour, you only work from 9 to 5. Side hustles only if you have enough like mental energy to do so. That's the problem of the calendar effect. It allows you to slack off. It gives you time when you haven't really worked on anything. People who follow the calendar effect, they're like, oh, it's Christmas, I'll take 2 weeks off, or no, my holiday is here for the whole year. Oh no, it's the weekend. I'm just recharging, man. Come on. A major victim of the calendar effect are university, college students like me. This is something I just read and just like fucking blew my mind. University and college, it makes you take an entire program for 3 years when you could probably do it in 6 months. This is something which fucking blew my mind because, bro, I'm in a program that takes 4 years to complete, and it just struck me. I'm like, bro, what if I could complete in like 2 semesters and just get out of here? But the uni students of my age, what do? They go out on the weekends, they get drunk, they smoke weed, they probably like have a lot of sex, and because of that, because of the ejaculation, they don't feel like working as hard. They spend time on dating, on like fucking around, and most of the students who go to university, they have like major student loan debts, and like for that they work a summer job. So their work time is from September to May, and then from May they get a summer job, and all of their spending is focused around paying off their debt. And then in the Christmas they take time off, and then they go back and then probably eat like 500 candies on Easter, or have like two turkeys on Thanksgiving. It's This is what the university students fall victim to. To put this in perspective in terms of numbers, and you can obviously just check if my calculations are right, but let's say there are two men, man one and man two. So man one is the usual guy, the average man that you see who works only 9 to 5, takes off on the weekends. And man two is the guy who's that ambitious, like like really rock hard guy who wants to skyrocket his business or something, right? Man one isn't putting any extra work after his 9 to 5, and probably he only works on his business when he feels like it. Whereas man 2, after he comes from his 9 to 5 job, he probably eats or showers a bit, and then from 7 p.m. until midnight he's working. That's 5 hours. And this guy, he waits for the man 2, he waits for the weekend, not to enjoy, but he views it as an opportunity to work more on whatever he's working on. And 2, he's gonna work like 12. This man is gonna make the most of his weekends and work 12 hours. So if you like multiply this 5 hours for 5 days and 12 hours for 2 days, I know the calculations for sure, but it comes out to be around 106 days per year. Man 1 has 0 days of extra work put in, probably a week, maximum like 15 days. This guy has literally a third of a year. And let's say a guy like me, I'm 19 right now, but if a guy does this from 18 till 30 for like 12 years of his life, he literally has 3.5 years of work. 3.5 years of work. And this isn't like extra time or something. This is literally the time in which man 1 is chilling. It's like drinking. It's like wanking off. This guy for 3.5 years, he's gonna absolutely fucking destroy this guy, because this guy lives by the calendar. He's like, oh no, I only work on the. And this isn't to count the extra holidays that the person gets. Like the man too is working a job too, and the holidays, the Christmases, the bank holidays, whatever the hell, his own holiday, like his own birthday, this guy is just going to be this guy is just going to be working, and that accumulated for 12 years, 15 years of his life, it will add up to a total of 5 years of work put in, extra work put in. This is what can happen if you don't follow the calendar effect. You literally get 5 years over your competition who just wants to chill on the weekends. So what do you have to do? This is basically like any self-improvement habit. For example, meditating, exercising. So when you're exercising, you don't see your muscle gains today, but tomorrow, day after tomorrow, like 3 days later, a week later, a year later, that's when you see the results come in. And the same is with this. This is called front loading, where you're going to put a massive amount of work up front, and you can enjoy for the rest of your life. This is something that I have been following ever since I've got on to self-improvement. I've always been trying to delay gratification, and front loading is obviously delaying gratification. I just want to end this video with something that happened to me like really recently. I won't mention the name or how I'm related to the person because of reasons, but it's a misconception that everybody has, most people have. People usually say, you must have probably heard, and people say this to me a lot, is like, you have to enjoy your undergraduate years, go out, like, enjoy, just make friends, fall in love, play sports, and do all that bunch of bullshit, because you're not going to get that later on. And this is what this guy told me. He told me like, oh, you should go out, like just smoke weed, just like get fucked or something, because like once you go to work, there's no going back. And that's not the worst thing he said. We were at a get together, and I was just like sitting down, and he came to me, and like he told me, have you played this like new game? And I told him, no, I don't have my PS4. It's back in Kuwait. It's like back home. He's like, oh no, like you have to get your PS4, like, now is the time to play games. If you don't play games now, then when will you play? The guy who told this to me, he's 26 years old. And he's fucking fat. He sits on his couch and plays Valorant, or I don't know what that fucking game was, Apex Legends, cusses for like 4 hours, eats 2 packets of noodles in 5 minutes, Subway, McDonald's every day. He's fucking fat. He doesn't go to the gym. He literally watches anime all day. For 3 hours he sits on his laptop and he watches anime all day. And this guy is the guy who's giving me advice on to enjoy my life, so that I'll end up just like him. Be careful who you take advice from. Be careful who you listen to. It might not seem like a big thing to just like, hear them, but it always has some effect on your brain. Stay away from such people, because you're not going to get anywhere in life if you're around them.